Welcome back to Montana this morning. Today we have Steve with Big Sky Economic Development, and we're learning a little bit more about the exciting news that we received for here in Billings, Montana's first medical school. We learned about it earlier in the week, and I wanted to connect with you so we can learn some more about it. So can you give us a bigger picture about Rocky Vista University? What kind of opportunities do they provide for anyone interested in the medical field?
Victoria, thank you, and I really appreciate you allowing us to talk a little bit more about this opportunity. Rocky Vista University is the leader in osteopathic medicine in terms of training new physicians in the Rocky Mountain region. They have a campus in Parker, Colorado, and then a second location in southern Utah. So the Billings location would cover that northern tier of the Rockies, are part of that region. With that expertise, graduating new physicians that then go on to residencies across the country, and being in the Rocky Mountain West, they have a keen understanding of our unique healthcare needs. Many of their graduates go on to residency and focus on primary care and providing care in rural communities and underserved communities. So think of Eastern Montana and the small community hospitals that just need physicians to help in primary care or emergency medicine or whatever it might be. So they're educating kind of that next generation of primary care to help focus on underserved areas. So them coming to Billings gives us an opportunity to start educating more men and women who want to help serve needs that are unique to Montana and our region. One important point about Rocky Vista University: they have a 100% placement rating with residency programs, which means their graduates, after 4 years of medical school, get matched to residencies at a rate of 100%. That's among all medical schools. That is a fantastic placement rate. That means they're doing a great job of training young men and women to become doctors of osteopathic medicine, that then go on to some of the more prestigious residency programs in the country. So they'll bring that quality of education to our region of Montana, and really, frankly, that will benefit the whole state of Montana.
And another benefit to Montana, being that this is the first medical school for the state, it gives, kids who dream of medical careers the chance to actually go to school and stay in Montana if they choose.
Absolutely. We have close to about 200 students who finish their first 4-year degree and then apply to medical school, about 200 a year in Montana. A small group of them, about 30, are selected to participate in the WWAMI program, which is an excellent program and an excellent opportunity. The others that get accepted to medical school really get spread throughout the country. My son went to the University of North Dakota. He was joined in his first year in medical school with about 3 or 4 other Montana students who were looking for that opportunity to have, to become a doctor, to be trained and educated to be a doctor. So this would give us an opportunity to keep some of those very bright students who are going elsewhere in the country to a little closer to home, a chance to educate them locally, connect them with clinical training experiences in their 3rd and 4th year in Montana in this region. That just increases the likelihood that when they're ready to practice as physicians, that they'll want to stay closer to home as well. And that meets a critical need in the state of Montana.
Yes, there's no place like home. So give us a picture. How far out are we from actually seeing the university built up and doors open and students learning? What kind of process do we have ahead of us?
Yeah, we actually started this discussion several months ago in partnership with the Alliance, so our major medical partners, and there's still much more work to do. And let's come back to that thought, but just the schedule. This is a proposed medical school. It has to receive accreditation. They have submitted their application for accreditation. They've done a third-party feasibility analysis that was submitted as part of that process as well. They've deposited $50 million in an escrow account, demonstrating their financial ability to make this investment and perform and meet their obligations for students. All of that work and information will go in front of an accrediting body, and that body will have a hearing on this proposal in mid-April. And there may be some gaps in information that they'll have to fill. There'll be some dialogue. We're hopeful by the end of April that they would have received accreditation. If that happens on that schedule, then you could see groundbreaking as early as the end of May, maybe first part of June. They have a site that's been secured. They've done a lot of their preliminary architecture and engineering. They've selected a local contractor to do the development of the project, and they'll be building a 135,000 square foot state-of-the-art medical education facility on an initial 12-acre campus in our community. But we've got to get through accreditation. That's obviously, this doesn't happen without that. And then beyond that step, over the weeks and months ahead, they will continue to partner with Billings Clinic, St. Vincent Healthcare, Riverstone Health, and regional healthcare providers to identify how do we manage and handle clerkships, additional training, what do those partnerships look like. They'll also spend time, as they did earlier this week, with the Chancellor of MSU Billings, President of Rocky Mountain College. They've met with both and will continue to dialogue with those higher education partners and talk about cooperation. Could we be graduating pre-med students from MSU Billings or Rocky that then have a clearer path toward medical education through Rocky Vista University? So all of those partner dialogues, working out those details are really important. When all that is in place, the first students will be welcomed to our community August of 2023. So we have time, but there's a lot of work to do to work out the very important details for this to be a successful program. I'll add this. Billings is so uniquely positioned, given the investment we've already made in our healthcare infrastructure, the well-trained physicians and practitioners we have in our community, many of which are inclined to train and kind of give back to that next generation. Given that platform, the fact that we serve healthcare to a population of 620,000 in our broader region, we are so uniquely positioned to be successful in partnership with Rocky Vista University to start educating new physicians for the future.
All right, Stephen, I'll finish up with one last question here. So within that whole process you just explained to us, when can the Billings community really get excited and know this is going to happen and we'll have this school here in a matter of time?
Okay, well, hold your breath slightly. Keep breathing. I have to remember to keep breathing myself, but we have to get through accreditation and we have to build those additional dialogue on partnerships. So April, Victoria, let's get back together at the end of April and have really an opportunity to congratulate folks for doing a lot of work to bring it through the accreditation process. And then we can join each other for groundbreaking on their site.
All right, sounds great. Well, thank you so much for getting us all filled in on the bigger picture on what's happening behind the scenes. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.